2, 1. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to a crew battle between two teams. Will be commentating. My name is Nate, and I'm joined by Mike.
Hello?
All right, so this is going to be a 6v6 format crew battle with two teams that have been with captains Alu from PFC and Sayori from both players in PFC. And they have drafted some interesting teams to go up against. A lot of fun characters, I guess we could say. So this is just going to be basic 2-life format, 6 people on each team. I believe you want to go over the rest of the rules real quick because I'm not completely informed about them.
Yeah. So the rules are just 2 lives. It's going to be best of 1 sets. Pretty typical there. No switching characters if you win. The rules don't specifically mention that they can't swap between lives, so I'm unsure how that's going to work. And then if you win twice in a row, you lose 1 life. So very typical crew battle rules. There's not really too much to write home about in terms of the rules.
Yeah. Makes sense. So, looking at these teams real quick, you see a lot of repeated or like very similar archetype characters on the left, but a pretty wide diversity on the right between zoners, rushdown, and everything else. Who would you say is like? How would you say this matchup of teams would go so far, in your opinion?
So the big thing that I noticed immediately is that Sarah's team is Ebstorm and Dead Dog, who are players that I think are extremely good. I hold them in very high regards, so I'm curious to see how Alu's team is going to handle them. Specifically with Eb, I feel like a lot of people can very quickly, like Eb is very good at getting 1 hit, which isn't particularly hard with Koromaru, and then you're just in that kind of cycle. So I'm curious to see how Alu's team is going to react to that. I don't know who they send out for it. I think in terms of matchups, they could try sending Alu or Yuki Cat out, or Diego, since those are probably their best matchups on paper into them. But I'm unsure if they have any player matchups that they've been trying out, if they have any strats to handle him, or anything like that.
Sure, yeah. It's a tough matchup. You either know the Kenkoro or you don't. It's very much something you got to play out, and if you aren't ready for the matchup, it will take you by storm. It looks like there is some interference, so we can just talk about this a little bit longer while the players figure it out. But let me check if they're ready to go real quick. All right, so yeah, while they're getting ready, we have the two teams. The names they decided to go with is for Alu's team, we have the Golden Lions, and for Sayori's team, we have B3 HQ. All right.
So you asked me, but do you have any opinions on how this crew battle might go in terms of the team comps and what do you think they might try to do?
I would say more or less, I think it'll be very close. I think that there are some matchup-wise, the right team definitely is favored. However, I do think some players on the left side may be able to close the gap. But I think we're ready, so let me go ahead and transition on over to the game real quick. And hopefully our game audio is good. I'll fix that as we go. But let me just go ahead and go to auto pass real quick, and we should be good to go.
So notice that our first players up are Siberia, a Yosuke player, and Diego's a Shadow Yuki player. Do you have any opinions on this matchup?
Yosuke, this is very heavily Yosuke favored. Yosuke loves to break through those or just zoners in general. Really high jump, anti-projectile, very fast, so you have to be on point with your projectiles or you will get just completely shut down.
I've been watching both these players play, and I can say that I think they're very close in terms of skill level. I've been watching them play over the past few months, and they've seemed pretty close to me. One thing I'm curious about is, does Siberia have the matchup knowledge to deal with Shadow Yukio? Suggest stuff such as the unblockable resets, and while they're very good regardless, but a lot of players don't know the matchup that well due to the lack of, and this slightly changing times, but the relatively low amount of Yukio players historically. So I'm curious if he knows how to handle this, the unblockables and all and stuff like that.
For sure. It looks like getting off to a big start with Yosuke putting that 50-50 in your face of, am I going to touch you or am I going to bait something out from you? And getting a bunch of resets off of this. Very scary game, but Diego's going to actually get in and start up some Agi loops, and this is going to be big damage in reset. All right, looking for any opening here. Getting a good counter hit, but sadly not going to quite pick up there. And just going to be a quick little dirty damage. Looks more like a scramble fest right now.
There. Yeah, this game started off very scrambly. There's been a few drops from Diego's and moments where he could convert, but just missed it.
Diego's, of
One
course.
thing I noticed is that it seems like Siberia's opting to go for like less right next with Yosuke a lot, where he's going like entering the toss up and then assisting side and just seeing how Diego's kind of handles that.
For sure, for sure. Round one going to Siberia, quickly finishing it out before Diego's could find the next hit that he need to get into his confirm, but going to get a nice burst bait there. And this is going to convert into a lot of, or going to cut the combo short actually, and just going to reset into corner pressure.
Yeah. I think one thing I've noticed is that Diego seems very nervous in terms of how he's playing. I've noticed that there's been a lot of DPs, a lot of rolls, and Diego's kind of just been winning that out, and he's just been getting a lot of mileage off of it.
Here's a big Agi loop though. This is going to do a lot of damage, and we're going to set up fire level, or we're going straight into the super. Is this death? Nah. Good Oki, this is definitely death, if he decides to spend burst here, but maybe we don't need burst.
And that should be unburstable. That's good.
Don't even need burst, gonna close out the round.
So that's one more. So I guess for anybody who's new, I'll take this on and quickly explain normal and Shadows. Shadows have an option called Shadow Frenzy, in which when they pop it, they get unburstable combos that uses up all of their meter, essentially. So they use every resource, and they trade off being big unburstable damage. However, Shadow Yukio is already very good at that, as you can see, as like right here. Siberia cannot burst.
That's true. With giant disjoints and personas in this game, almost every character is puppet character in some way, and if you're too far away and the burst doesn't actually connect to your opponent, it's just going to be free resets. But we're actually going to burst here, get into Awakening. Next hit is death for Siberia, but he's going to need to approach if he wants to shut down, and this is probably it right here.
Yes, this should absolutely be game if there is no drop. Maybe even the Super might be enough.
Don't even need friends.
Just in case, doing the frenzy to go first, and that's going to be game one. Going to Alu's team.
Yeah, you said it was first of two, right? So they play like a best of three, and then the winner of that?
No,
or...
it's best of one, so that means
okay.
Siberia has lost his first life.
Okay.
They'll be out. So usually how they do it in crew battles, it's not specified in the rules that we were given, but usually they have to go through all the lives first. So we'll probably see them again in like the second half of the crew battle after everybody's gone through one.
All right. So Siberia goes down a life, and Diego's still in. So as we are going to see, B3HQ now has to send in their second player. And who do you think we're going to see sent in here?
So I personally think some people that I think I could see, I think M10 could be a good option. He's, from what I've seen, a pretty solid player. I think M10 or Como would probably be my option.
I have to go right. These players are not waiting at all. They're going right into the match. Who is this? Who's playing the... Is this Como?
I know Eb plays Shadow Naruto.
I didn't even get to see their tag. They went straight into the match. They had no time.
If I had to guess right now, it's Eb.
I guess we'll find out. We'll see their tag. But yeah, Shadow Narukami. That's not a character you see very often at all. It is gonna be Como.
Oh, that's Como. Yeah, so I guess I could say just for like Narukami, I'm curious to see how this is gonna go since I think Narukami is one of the best characters in the game. It just we just saw one right there where he's very good at punishing, like mashing or trying to disrespect his pressure. So I wonder how Diego's gonna handle that since in the last game he had a lot of issues with just giving up rolls and stuff very easily to Siberia. So I'm curious if that's gonna be an issue in this game because I think Narukami can definitely convert off that
For sure.
quite
And
well.
while Shadow Narukami is often considered worse than just regular Narukami in a lot of different ways, one thing that you can definitely say he has is, while he doesn't have the absolute rob factor of Wilmore Burst, also that was a really good unblockable and going to give the match over to Diego's, I believe, if he... Oh, we're not spinning burst. Never mind.
No
but
frenzy.
I'm guessing the reason we're going Shadow Narukami is for the faster meter gain and just the ability to absolutely delete them with some boosted supers. But round one going to Diego's.
This is a very good start from Diego's here. He has done an amazing job, and he saved. It's a bit of a risky play, admittedly, but a lot of players, how they like to think about Shadow Frenzy, is like to think about it as they win round one without it, and then they try to just win round two with it. And the idea is they just want to cleave 2-0-1 round.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wonder if that's the mindset that Diego's taking towards Frenzy. Because he didn't spend it there when he definitely would have won off that. And a good DP bait, just keeping himself. One of the things that I've noticed from Diego's is he's playing very, and this is partly because he's playing, Yuko is very good at this just in general, but he's been playing very burst safe. There's been a lot of moments where either Siberia or Como have really been able to burst too safe.
Yeah, Diego's is very good at playing around that burst. He loves the burst bait. Sometimes it's to his detriment, but for the most part, if he catches that burst, you're just cooked. You have one chance to burst a Yukiko combo, and if you miss it, you're just dead. We are getting some spectator lag. I hope it's spectator lag at least. So sorry about that, but Persona 4 port, what can you do?
And I can tell like right now, this is a one-hit game for Diego's. Like if he hits it and converts, this is going to be the game for him. Like right here, this should be the game if nothing happens. Assuming yeah.
Yep, that's Frenzy. And there goes your dreams. Oh no, we're dropping!
Oh, okay!
And Narukami with Frenzy and full meter.
I don't know if this kills, but I'm going to assume it does.
Oh, we dropped.
Doesn't matter, it's a drop.
You're dead anyway.
Yeah, this should be the kill.
What an unfortunate drop.
I will say, going into this next round, I still would heavily favor Diego since that was a neutral Frenzy. For those who don't know, that's an option Shadow characters have. They got all the same benefits. The only difference is that it's when you use Shadow Frenzy, except you don't cancel into it, and it uses up only 70% of your burst instead. So as you can see, he got back his burst very quickly, which means he essentially has about I would fucking go like 70 or so % burst advantage going into this next round. Like, if I had to guess, Como won't get back first, then Diego's definitely dead. They're just getting some options here.
Alright, here we
Another
go.
roll given.
Playing very safe as you have to. Next hit, you're dead. You see that Frenzy online. Although we don't have too much meter, but it's still probably enough to kill. But Como approaching his meter limit also. I think he might get Frenzy if he gets a good combo.
I think he probably will.
Oh.
Okay.
Was that like an actual connection, or was that spectator lag?
I assume by the looks of things we can see.
I'm gonna... Was that spectator? It might have been
I
spectator.
think we'll know by who's up next because it looked like Diego.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask who won that real quick.
Yeah.
All right, Diego's did win it. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the end of it, but Diego's winning against Como there.
So that means both teams are going to send out a new player. I wonder who we're going to see, since right now the score is 2-1 in favor of the Golden Lions.
Yeah,
I'm
Diego's winning
curious.
both his matches, which means he is out, but or he lost a life, but he did take 2 lives in the process. And yeah, so this is a fresh start. Both players have to put someone new in without knowing who they're going up against now.
So the Golden Lions decided to send in Alu, who to my understanding is the team. Okay, we're getting the two people who made the teams for this group out of my understanding who really hosted this. I can say I know that Alu's playing Shadow Naoto. For Sayori, they play both Labrys and Margaret. I think it's typically Shadow Labrys for them, but I'm not sure what she'll be playing for this specific crew battle. If they decide to go down the route of Labrys, but from what I've seen as of late, it's mostly been Margaret.
Okay, so it does look like it's going to be Margaret unless we're swapping. No, we're going straight to the Stabris. Don't you know that's a bad character?
I believe that's a character that Sayori has put in a lot of time and puts a lot of faith into. I think Sayori genuinely thinks that Shadow Labrys is a pretty strong character.
Interesting character. You're not going to see this often. Many people say this is just a bad character in general. Labrys an already bad character for Shadow part, but there are people who make it work, and Sayori is definitely one of the people who would put in the work to make this more unorthodox character function. I should.
But I suppose for those who are new, I would like to explain something about Shadow type. Okay, we're already seeing it. As you guys can see at the top right of the screen, right under Sayori's persona cards, you see a skull counter. This is what the fake counter for Shadow Malphite is. It starts at 13, and once it hits 0, she has insta-kill attacks that will kill off that for 50-meter will kill if they connect at all. Essentially, the game plan with Shadow Labrys is to get an initial hit with Shadow Frenzy, as we saw from Alu, and then build the 50-meter to go into the instant.
Looking really good here. Kind of stuck in the corner. Alu did get the 0 fate, but kind of stuck here. But now this is full screen, 50-meter. You're on death's door.
Yes, any hit at this point will kill. Does not matter the fact that she is at like 75 or like 60% HP. No, I don't think that could kill actually.
We had the kill, but we didn't pull the trigger.
Yep.
We had the
So
kill, didn't pull the
which
trigger, but yeah, did get the overhead in the middle of the mix, getting hit by 1 tick, and you're dead.
Essentially, the idea behind that is that they get a very good potent 50-50 there, in which they get to mix you like once or twice, and if you get hit, that's just game because you got lost against the kill. We'll say one thing I've noticed is Alu has been DPing a fair bit. I think she's the DP both teams have been on defense so far, so I'm curious to see if Sarah can catch on to that, especially since Labrys, and especially your Shadow type, is a very oppressive character, in which they're not really too great once they're starting, but as you can see, they're in red axes, greatly boosters damage and all that, so that means they will be doing very high damage and being able to snowball with them. That's just going to be it.
You're
There's
dead.
not going to be
No frenzy needed.
Alu.
And what's important there is we did do A bull, so we keep that red axe for the next round. Or C bull, my bad.
That's a good thing to note. Now they're neutral on the burst now, so it's all even kind of fair. Another DP. This could get very bad if Sayori can cash out on that read later on in this game. They put down some traps. Okay, this should be a 2-tap game at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this should be it.
Like, any hit, they might kill right here. I think they're going to kill right here.
Yeah, this is their signature. They're going to bull, OMC bull. Yep, that's death. I'm going to see if I can fix this spectator lag, unfortunately, but that is a clean Sayori win.
Yeah. So that's 2-2.
Yeah.
I wonder who they're going to opt to send in, since they have Majestic Lion, Yuki Cat, DP Neighbor, and Labrys left.
Alright. Let me change this real quick. I'm trying to make it so the less lag happens ideally. Alright. So that is going to be Alu. down to down to his last life, but who are we gonna send in? That is a great question. Looking at who's left, I would honestly send in Lion.
I think that seems fair.
Uh,
That I will say on the other team, I would imagine that Labras is one of Kanji's better matchups, just like in terms of on paper. I know the Ken matchup's pretty rough. I would assume the Igus matchup is pretty rough. So I would assume that you would probably want to send Kanji into some of these easier matchups. So there's less likelihood of just, you know, he just gets stuck into a loop of just playing a bad matchup, and then it's like it's much harder for him to get a win on the board.
yeah, for sure. We are even right now because Sayori coming in and cleaning up. So this is even lives right now, 10-10 apiece. But DP Neighbor, I don't really know who he is. New player. We'll see. We'll see when his Adachi, if he gets put out, what his Adachi can do.
Yeah, I will say I've never heard of DP Neighbor. I don't know who they are. I've never heard of the name. So they are the one player in this group battle whose name I don't necessarily recognize. Not too sure who some of the other people are, but I feel like I've at least heard their names in passing. Even if I've never really played, again, even if I've never personally played them, or if I've never really seen them play.
All right, taking our time picking it. That's fair. You do want to, no reason to rush in, strategize who's gonna be best to take them out. And I would say Lion, but you know, if he's not too, he doesn't enjoy the matchup as much, or maybe it's like he doesn't feel very comfortable fighting Sayori. Someone else would maybe do better. All right, so like we are going to be sending in what looks to be Majestic Lion. So Kanji Labras, not as one-sided as you may think. Kanji actually doing pretty dang good up against Labras. One thing Labras does have to do is she does have to get in eventually, and that's all Kanji wants you to do.
I also wonder, since I noticed that Sarah didn't do any DP base last game, there's an interesting thing with Kanji, where his DP is very good, especially in like more ranged options such as like a Ken 5B, a Labras, like even Labras buttons, due to the fact that it usually, if it's a button extends far, it will still hit the main character. One thing I'm curious, however, on the flip side, this is a fatal counter DP punish every time it's punished. So that means if Sayori reads the DP, there will be extremely high rewards for that.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
more so than what we normally see from Shadow type Labras, which is this character that has very like the first hit or so, maybe they don't get too much, they're like 2k, and the second hit you just explode.
Another thing to keep in mind though is lots of Kanji's moves in general take a long time to happen, and while they're happening, that axe is ticking down. So one red axe, getting a command grab while the opponent's in red axe, that could be a lot of just axe meter gone in general, and you might not even be in red that long.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe normal Kanji has 10k health, correct? So he's one of the tankier characters. No, I think he's 10.5k.
Probably something around that. I don't know, but oh my gosh,
yeah.
Majestic not even giving Sayori a chance to press a button. Holy crap. This is some Kanji pressure if I've ever seen it.
That's a DP bait. Went straight through.
D grab, I-frames up until the grab comes out, using that to go right through gears, ignoring it, and that's a Persona perfect.
I think that might even be a. I think that might be a Persona on I have to check the thing that on.
Look at this. He's just using this D grab, and he's just like, I don't care that your block strings aren't true. I'm just gonna go through and grab you for him. And all his damage.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Another, like, just another strike throw, and
Sayori is in gray axe.
No DP bait here. I will say it is still Labras. There's still a chance. Okay, just immediately bursting out. Doesn't want to give Sayori any chance to get the game plan going.
There we go. Finally getting an opening. That's going to be a good combo. Getting back up to Green Axe, but unfortunately,
Yeah, it's not a lot of
that's not
damage,
going to
but
be
it
what
does
you...
build up Axe and just get an air grab. That's going to be 3-2 for the Golden Lion.
Yeah, that's a
So,
clean, decisive win there. That was,
the players that
unfortunately,
we
a
have
very much a
left,
wipeout.
the players that we have left are Ebb, M10, Dead Dog. If I had to guess, I think we'd probably see M10. That would be my prediction.
Um, Honestly, that's not bad. I don't think any of the remaining... I mean, I wouldn't send in Dead Dog, because Chie, while she probably does beat Kanji, she has to approach, and that is a scary thing to do against Kanji, is approach. But I'd say any of the other remaining players, they can just kind of do some evil stuff to Kanji and just not let him ever play his game. Ken himself, like, what are you gonna do against a spear and a dog? Like, you can't
I will
grab the
say,
dog.
like, Kanji DP is uniquely very good into Ken's offense. Is one of the best DPs in the game into it, but it's
Oh,
still a pretty rough matchup for the sole reason of
hold on.
it is very hard for Kanji to win neutral in any sense of the.
Is that a random? I think that's a random.
Just check their persona card and we should be able to see.
I'm gonna say that's a random. They'll rejoin if not. Oops. Alright, yeah, but I would say it's definitely going to be closer on, but Majestic Lion continues to impress me, just like being able to get around all things that Kanji should not be able to get around. But overall, yeah, I'd say any player you send in, it's a winning matchup for Kanji. The question is, can you beat Lion?
Yeah, one thing I noticed is that Kanji typically struggles in the neutral a fair bit, and that was just not an issue Majestic Lion was having against Sayori in any sense of the imagination. It was just 1-2 they were getting in extremely quickly.
Talking it out, that's fair, because you need to strategize, because after you take Lion out, you still got to deal with the rest of the team, and you need to make sure you have the right players to be able to take care of them. And you also have to be ready for the player you send in to get counterpicked. This is a bit of a strategy in addition to, you can't just beat the player in front of you. You got to plan for what's next afterward.
I will say, for the remaining matchups that the Golden Lions should have before they should have to change out, if I'm not mistaken, assuming they are running those rules, is I noticed that Chie kind of struggles into the remaining characters too, since there's still a Shadow Yukiko, which I'd imagine is probably pretty rough for normal Chie, because her neutral is probably the worst part about the character, even in Shadow. And then there's Adachi, who I gotta imagine is a fine matchup. But
Yeah.
it's still probably the best match. I'd say Chie is probably, the remaining characters, probably all of their best matchups when compared to Shadow Ken and Aegis, unless I'm wrong. But as far as I know, that the Shadow Ken Adachi matchup is pretty rough for the Adachi's end, because he's very good at just countering what Adachi wants to do regarding Strike Throw, because Shadow Ken's one of the best characters in the game against Strike Throw, if not the best. Just due to the way his defense is ran, because he can use Dog on defense, which helps in defending a Strike Throw OSs a lot. So if there's too much of a gap for the Strike Throw, then they just
For sure.
can't do it because they get matched on, and then that's a full combo for Shadow Ken.
That is just, unfortunately, the functionality of Ken in Shadow mode is you lose too much and then he hits you with 3 supers and your life bar is gone. But overall, I would say your assessment is correct. Of course, it is Dead Dog piloting the Chie, so that does change it a little bit. He's very comfortable against just using Chie into all kinds of matchups. So it is more of, are you ready to fight Dead Dog's Chie more than are you ready to fight a Chie? But I do
I think for sure. Sorry, you can continue.
Yeah, I would say for sure it's a winning matchup against all of them, but you got to be ready because he knows his way around like character matchups as well.
I think for sure I've noticed that, like, if you look on Dead Dog's YouTube, like, he's posting sets there consistently. He's always been on the grind. He's been on the grind for years. Like, I remember playing him in tourneys as early as February 2024, and he was grinding way before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's been a very good player. Like when I played him in tourney, he went game 5 with people. No, actually he beat. No, he didn't beat Hero. Sorry, he went game 5 with Hero. So he's been a very good player for a very long time. Is what I'm getting at here. So he knows he has the experience. I doubt there's any character in the game that's going to overly matchup knowledge check him at a base level at this point. I think the one matchup that if I had to guess he might have some issues with is just due to the historic low representation of them, might be Shadow Yukiko. So I wonder if these Shadow Yukikos might try to use that to their advantage to try to get an advantage over Dead Dog because they might know that he's a very experienced player with typically every matchup, but until I want to say like a few months ago where I started seeing an increase in Yukio players, there really haven't been a lot historically.
I could for sure see that. Lots of players. I know that I heard Joltio talking about this a little bit ago. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not that great at the Yukiko matchup anymore, just because the Yukiko I used to play with doesn't play the game anymore. I just haven't found a Yukiko to play with. So, a lack of players is definitely a reason why you might start being bad at a matchup, just not having the experience that you want because lack of representation. I mean, Chie yourself. Part of the reason a lot of people struggle or just are lost in the Chie matchup is because who plays Chie? Like, why in the world would you play Chie when there's so many other characters that do what Chie does better?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I will say that Shadow Chie is certainly a good character that has a niche within the game, but even then, she's not like the best 2-tapper in the game since you still have Shadow Mitsuru and Shadow Yukari, so
Mm-hmm.
there certainly is characters that can outdo her niche. But she still sits Shadow Chie is still a very good character. Normal Chie is like low mid tier, so she's fun though, since every character in Persona aside from like maybe Kanji, Shadow Kanji, and Shadow Reset. I think every other character in the game can definitely win a major if somebody were to pilot them at a high enough level.
I think any character that isn't named Akihiko can win if they try hard enough. Oh gosh. They are definitely taking their time though with this pick. I'm wondering because I think I saw earlier someone said someone's wire was having problems. I'm hoping that it's not connectivity issues, but um,
Yeah, I would hope not.
yes, I think Shadow Rise could win if in the right hands of and someone practices her enough. Honestly, you guys be sleeping on Shadow Rise. Not as bad as you think. Still bad. Not as bad as you think.
So I guess in the free time, how's chat's day been? We're kind of just waiting here, so I think I'll just ask you guys how your days have been. Okay. Okay, so apparently, Sayori's team, which is B3HQ, wants to change their name to Hotspot Warrior. I just got sent this message.
Like,
I don't know if we're gonna update that stream or not. And I made verify that this is real information or if they're joking, and they said real.
Hotspot Warrior.
Yes, that is supposedly the name.
Sure. Shout out to all the people who play on hotspots for their connection. Out of spite for this game.
I think at this point, I feel like this is like a PFC classic that I've noticed. Because remember, I was in a crew battle like 2.5 years ago, and I had somebody playing on hotspot back then. So I think this is just like a curse that the Persona community has to deal with.
Also, shout out to people who play on their car hotspots. Even better.
Okay, so here we're seeing Ebb play normal Ken. Still a very good character, not quite as impressive as Shadow Ken. I think the main difference is that, and one thing I hope to see from Majestic Lion is that I hope he knows that normal Ken is very easy to burst, as there are situations where normal Ken can't really burst bait, such as like after a JA, because it either multi-hits or it can't swing the JB. And maybe you could, in theory, like OMC to bait it, but it's really not worth it. So So I hope to see Majestic Lion abuse that and get himself free awakening.
Oh.
Okay, this looks to be like a button or a connection.
Yeah,
So
we're calling this a button
a
test
real
now.
game.
Or are they just playing it? It's whatever they want to do. Alright, we're just playing it. Cool. Alright. This is Ken Koromaru gameplay against a character that can't deal with them. You think you're safe, you're not safe.
Yeah, this is just the beginning of the 50-50 Zen loop. I will say, since Majestic Lion to the corner, typically the auto combo for Ken gives him a 4-way. But it doesn't even matter, he's going for the reset, and there's... Okay, there's the DP.
Ooh, we're getting the shock. Dog is going at him right now, but unfortunately that's a dead dog, not the player.
I will say, for those who don't know, shock in this game stops all of your movement. This means that during this time, Majestic Lion is most likely going to be very much looking for stuff like rolls and stuff, and Kanji is very good, and that's the round!
So if you guys didn't see that, what he did is a chair cancel to make him think he was going for the overhead grab, but it ended short, and he canceled it into a C grab, it looked like, and that was a complete bait to make him block low, when in reality, a command grab was coming right at him.
They're getting the hit. I wonder... I've noticed that Ebb is not opting for the corner opening here, and I could say the reason for that is because Kanji can do it. So it's not in any way really scary for Kanji. So he's just been opting to just repeatedly just go for different OP options in the corner, knowing the fact that...
Ooh, what a good bait. But the dog's right there, but he's going to DP the dog and...
Ooh, no.
Controller disconnect, hopefully not. Okay, alright.
Clearly not. I will say, I've noticed that Majestic Lion has thrown out a lot of DP, so I'm curious to see if Ebb will punish that.
Wake up.
Yeah, another
super,
reversal there.
and you're dead. Oh no, we're dropping!
I think he could have bursted anyways out of that. He didn't have another sleep. And that's going to be around for Ebb. So because of that burst there, Ebb has a very big advantage. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the burst, because I think the idea was to force Ebb into a burst, but unfortunately due to the drop, he couldn't.
I think he was just dead.
So,
but either way, this is a burstless game, it looks like, because Ev spinning his burst super early just does not want to play the Kanji RPS. Yeah. You got tick throwed, and now you're one grab away from dying. Or actually awakening, I forgot.
Yeah, one thing I'm curious about... My apologies. Okay. A Persona break. So for those who don't know, this means that until the Persona's back, Ebb can run his offense freely, since Kanji is one of the few characters in the game who needs his DP for his Persona for his DP. But doesn't matter, he's getting the air throw. That's going to be the end of Majestic Lion's life.
Lion dropping that second round, but cleanly comes back in the third round, says, I don't need my burst, I'm going to win this anyway, and just, that was a very clean match. Lost it for a little bit, but right back, and that's 2 wins for Lion. Making it clean. It puts Gold Lions at a clean lead over, my bad, I didn't change it here, Hotspot Warriors.
I believe right now the score is 5-4? No, 4-3.
Let me update this real quick. Should be good.
So, in terms of the option, Hotspot Warriors have M10, who plays Aegis, and Dead Dog left.
And
meanwhile, we have Yuki Cat, DP Neighbor, and Labris on the side of the Golden Lions.
Alright, so this is technically blind entries, but looking at it, it's like, okay, you're either going to be playing Dead Dog or M10. This isn't as blind as one might think. And either way, I don't think any of these players particularly, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people who don't want to play against an Aegis, especially an M10 Aegis, but at this rate, you know, you're approaching the bottom of the lineup. You're either going in now or you're going in at the top of the opponent's lineup, so I guess it's more just like, who would you put in here if you were the Golden Lions?
I think that's a good question. I feel like right now, I want a strong blind pick, so I feel like I'd probably just go with Yuki Cat.
Yuki Cat. I would say, I'd probably throw Dead Dog in first. And yeah, it looks like Dead Dog is coming in. Specifically because, let's say M10 does lose. At the very least, you got a player out of the way, and now you have the front of the roster again.
Yeah, certainly not a lot of risk in like just throwing somebody out and seeing how it works because they do have a game advantage. So no matter what, even if the person on the hotspot Warriors goes 2-0, it's going to be an even crew battle again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it can be worth it. And it realistically, you got to go through everyone eventually.
Yeah, all right. It looks
So
like we are getting Dead Dog versus Yuki Cat. You were right on with that prediction.
yeah, so again, I think the one thing that I'm worried about is Dead Dog. A lot of experience in this game. However, Shadow Yukio not played a lot in this game historically, and has only recently kind of come up in terms of usage. Meaning, this might be a matchup that we can very well see him get matchup checked in, and this is like one of the few matchups I would think I would even consider the possibility of getting matchup checked. What I will say is that he probably knows the bare minimum on how to deal with the unblockables and whatnot. So I would expect him to be able to handle that layer 1 stuff, since that's pretty common knowledge once you reach higher levels of the game, such as Dead Dog.
Yes.
However, one thing I will say that I'm worried about is because it's normal Chie, what makes Shadow Chie so good and what makes her so infamous, and that's who Dead Dog mostly plays as a 2-hit. Normal Chie is not running as much as a 2-hit game without her awakening. Getting the knockdown is going to be a 50, no 50-50 there because they kept us into the air. Just mashing out. Also, something we forgot to mention last time is the fire levels. What they do is every time she uses her 214C or 214CD, it increases the damage of her super spell. And then if you do 214D, the next fire hit is unblockable, and that should be death. Never mind, a burst.
Oh no.
A bit of a risky burst, admittedly.
That was an early super.
You're Shadow, so you really want to, and if you don't win here, you're in a really bad position. However, he does have to get through all of this zoning, and that's gonna be, yeah, that's not capitalizing on the burst properly. That's gonna be the round for Dead Dog there.
Right, Dead Dog going up around, half a burst on Shadow Yukiko, which is not what you want to see. You definitely want more than that, but Dead Dog doing a really good job of getting in against a projectile zoner, making great use of his aerials in 2A, and especially the black spot in the punch that goes through projectiles. But here we are, trapped in the corner against Yukiko set play. What the heck are we to do?
Yeah, I'm just getting another hit. This, I don't think that did that.
That's it.
Oh
no, we're dropping early? I think that was just a misinput. Unfortunately, now you gotta eat this meteors.
Oh, GP bait.
That's a lot of damage.
Reset with the overhead there.
Oh, what a grab reset too.
Reset.
Just gonna wake up super.
Heading out with the wake up super. Just mash that reversal.
And now we have Frenzy again.
Classic. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the mash in this game. Nobody wants to respect anything. And back to the corner offense. High-low 50-50. Yep. Okay.
Ooh, gonna drop. That was accidentally an aerial AOA and it sent upward instead of downward like we wanted.
Ooh, no tax, but not gonna matter much. Yeah, just the AOA there. Okay, burst.
An early burst, I think I would have saved it. Like, I understand that it's... no, actually, you did have to burn that there because you were dead otherwise. But now we don't get to go into Awakening.
Yeah, the meter gain is definitely high enough to go. And this is... Okay, yeah, that's not going to be dead.
Oh, off of... That is a wild.
I think part of the pressure of Shadows in a team battle is in the environment is the fact that you feel pressured to burst against them very early, even if they can't kill, because you get nervous at them hitting you. However, that's going to be the game for Dead Dog.
I don't know if that was a misinput or not, but we frenzied off of the guard cancel attack. I want to say that was a misinput. But if not, we just dropped the frenzy combo there. And either way, I don't know the proration on that, but I don't think it's good. But yeah, Dead Dog staying in and going up on him. going up
Yeah.
to make this an even game, actually.
Yeah, it's currently even. No matter what, at the end of this, if the dog wins again, it'll also be even. He'll also lose life. So who's left is Labras, and we have DP Neighbor. I'm going to be honest. I have no clue who they're going to send in.
Um, I'd probably send in.
I feel like
I would
Labras
send
is
in
a
DP
player who
Neighbor just so
think-
Alice could anchor, but
that makes sense. I think what I'm curious is since it's the mid thing, and since the anchor won't have infinite lives until the very last one, I think they might try to send in Alice to get an advantage. Since I don't know if they're the player that I think they are, but if they are, then they were a pretty good player a few years back, and then they stopped playing for a bit.
yes, yep. They're the Alice from like 3 years ago,
I see.
and they're actually getting sent in with a name
Yeah.
that I wish I could censor. I'm sorry you guys have to experience this. Here we are. This is going to be Dead Dog versus Alice. And we are going the Stabris as well. So Stabris on each team. That does mean you will have to play, if you do win, you have to play Stabris against M10.
I will say I don't know if they were Labras or normal or Shadow Labras player when they played, but I'm interested to see how this turns out. Since again, as we mentioned earlier, most people would say the normal Labras is better, but
I know that they have
Shadow
been,
Labras definitely has been aged.
they have labbed both characters to the point where if they feel comfortable with one, that's the one they should go with.
I mean, it's a rock for better connection, makes sense.
Ooh, starting out with a fatal with that black spot. That's going to be into the corner with you. Going to be using Orb a little bit. That is true. She does not have like a very easy answer to Orb because she doesn't really have a projectile she can just throw out to break that, so she kind of has to respect the pressure on Orb.
Catching the up back there, not much reward, but still catching the up back.
Gonna get in, but not gonna get the good ice hit. Instead, gonna have to just settle for an ice break. There's the ice hit we want. And that's gonna be a full good combo. That's gonna be baited.
Ooh, good DB bait.
Yeah, you burst or you die. Your choice.
Just throwing out the burst there. Also, what I've noticed is that I don't know if it's because of nerves or just some shadow players who prefer to push this friendly, but I've noticed them bursting a lot in order to save. Nobody likes to save the first round on defense.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of rage bursts where it's just like, I'm mad I got hit by that. Just press the burst button, get me out of this situation.
Yeah, and winning it, so I think that's very worth it. I think winning my thoughts on Shadows is that they should pretty much spend their burst to win the first round and top 10 they can win the round off the Raiders. Because you'll get it back for round 3 guaranteed.
Good roll bait. Going back in the corner with you, and half your life gone for your troubles. But we are going to tech out of there. We're going to get an aerial attack, and so we're going to get out of the corner.
Not converting there, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Okay. Not much they can get there. They're not one on higher axle.
These counter hits are going to kill Alice if she doesn't, or if he doesn't
Yeah,
do anything about it. Frenzy online. Good burst. I think that was the smart
That is
decision.
extremely good. Yes, I absolutely agree with that burst, and I think that puts Labras in an extremely good position. Even if they lose this round, they're gonna have a whole burst advantage.
Oh, they might be dead here.
Not gonna matter. Not gonna matter. This is gonna be round. Moxis is gonna straight up be game.
That's the combo
When
that
that person
Sayori
is
did
sitting in,
earlier.
it should be M10. They're very typical, it's the regular routing that you see from Shadow Labras. It's very typical.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they actually did, I believe, they didn't use B or D Raging Bull there, so they actually had Red Axe in case they were going into the next round, but didn't even need it. And that's gonna be Dead Dog losing his life, and we are going on to send in M10 for the next player.
Yeah, it should be M10 here. Because that's their only player left. So, do you have any opinions on the Aegis Labrys matchups and what you would expect from that?
If played correctly, Labrys should never get the chance to play the game.
That sounds about right. I will say I've never seen the matchup be played. If I'm being honest, it's probably my first time ever seeing this matchup played. I've never played this matchup, so I don't play either character. So I'm very interested to see how this turns out.
We're not seeing the Aegis?
Are we not?
M10 Minazuki. Oh no. The M10 Minazuki? Alright, we're going Aegis.
Nope, we're locked in on the Aegis. This is gonna be normal Aegis, so which is typically seen as the slightly better version, although they're very equal. Usually it's like
the reason I would say that regular Aegis, the reason I would say regular Aegis is just as seen as better. If it's just you don't really need the meter too much. You don't need the meter too much, and it's more just like so much damage and so much like more potential you can get off of awakening health.
And the other thing that's very important to note is that typically one of the defining traits of I'd say 90% of populations is they're very good on burstful damage. Aegis does not need to have Shadow to do unburstable damage, so that's part of the reason why you see normal health in such high regard. They don't really need the Frenzy for the unburstable damage, and they don't really use Frenzy. So they use it moderately well, but it's not absurdly well compared to like a 10 or a Mitsuru. So the Shadow version is just significant.
Aegis Frenzy also relies heavily on her bullets. If she doesn't have bullets, she's not going to be doing much damage off of it.
Yeah.
A lot of Aegis just in general relies on the two resources you see down below that, Orgia meter and those bullets. And even if she has Frenzy, if she doesn't have those two resources, she's not going to be doing too much off of it.
Yeah.
Gold burst.
Okay, that Orgia meter is getting fairly low. They're going to normal. It's going so if he did the B version, this locks him out of it until it's back to full. And for those who don't know, Orgia gives Aegis like it gives her, I think it's all mobility options if I'm not mistaken.
Gives her a lot of air mobility for sure. It's hover dashes, just hovering in general, being able to invincible flying backdash. It turns your offense into a whole new level.
Yeah, it's one of the scariest things to block in this game. You can fuzzy it, however, I can't say if Alice has any knowledge on how to block it.
That fire move you see right there, the Fire Megidola, that's also exclusive to Orgia mode. But this is going to be a lot of damage, trying to push Awakening, or not Awakening, this is Stabris, my bad.
Ooh,
just hover over the gear.
He's barely missing the punish, but what a good option there. And actually, then bursting out, I'm kind of worried about that burst. I don't know if I like that burst in Shadow. Especially getting the burst out, so it is worth it. However, I don't really know if I get that burst from M10 necessarily.
Something to notice, timer.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, this is going
This is
to
a
be
really close game, but it's really just whoever gets that hit.
That's going to be a punish, yeah.
Can't DP there.
Got a little bit nervous in the last bit. That's going to give Owls the advantage here.
You gotta play a little more campy. Like rushing in is always nice, but that is what Labrys wants. You need to be able to zone them out too. Making a lot of use of that DP. You gotta be careful. You can't just keep throwing it out, as we saw.
I will say, from what I've seen of M10, he does seem to be a relatively DP heavy player, and I think that's just a general thing for Aegis players as well, because they have one of the best, like one of the most obnoxious DP super characters in the game as well, even if he doesn't have the meter for it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, going into it.
Ooh, that was a good
and
pickup.
getting the punish. Not much in terms of damage, but it's good to say like, hey, yeah, I'm going to punish you. I think the mental pressure, another DP. Yeah, this is getting a little bit predictable, but we'll see if he'll be able to change it up. I
Oh,
think the one
I think
thing,
you're dead.
yes,
Super,
pretty much
right?
finished already.
Oh, we're not gonna super.
Ooh, okay.
Oh no. Oh, I was gonna say if that hit. I want to say
Well, I don't
misinput.
want the this is very scary. Okay, this will not be the kill. Okay,
I
bursting there.
don't know if I agree with that burst.
I don't
Honestly,
know if I've been agreeing with a lot of intense bursts, if I'm being honest, and defensive
I'm
options.
gonna
They feel
say
very,
I'm
he
gonna say
feels
it's
very
good to
nervous
control
right
axe.
now.
I'm gonna say it's good to control axe level, but outside of that,
I can see that.
yeah. Look at this, keeping him
I
at
will
green axe level.
say,
But oh no, here's a big opening.
doesn't matter, yeah, and that's going to be the game for Al. I will say, I think the mindset here, if I'm not,
Triple?
and this is just a prediction, is that they would rather play it safe rather than sorry. Even if you can, in theory, get a better round 3 situation without bursting, it is safer to burst and increase your chances of winning the second round.
I just. You guys call Stabbers a bad character. She just what deleted like a whole awakening health bar off a green axe. Like anyway, that is going to push the I haven't updated it, but that is going to push the Hotspot Warriors down to the top of their roster, and I believe they now have full options on whatever character they want to send out. But that also, I believe, eliminates Alice, so they are now down to the Golden Lions are now down to DP Neighbor.
Yeah, so DB Neighbor Hotspot Warriors has every single team member they can choose here. I don't think they're locked to a dedicated anchor. If I had to guess, they might try to send in. I would have to guess that they're going to go with either Como, Siberia, or Sayori first.
Mm-hmm.
I think their game plan is to save Ebstorm, M10, and Dead Dog because those are the traditional players that I feel like we've seen at high levels compared to the other three. So I think if you want to trust them, I would very much understand that.
I don't really know the Adachi matchups very much. I don't know who wants to fight Adachi, but I think Siberia. I think Yosuke would probably do pretty good against Adachi.
I mean, they did start Siberia last time, so it would certainly make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You should actually, I guess we're not in the same servers. What was that? Yeah, no, he's out. It's just us.
All right. But off of that, yeah,
So right now, I think we're honestly just waiting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did chat die, or has there just not been messages? I actually can't tell anymore.
Oh, I haven't seen her shot. That's a good question. According to
Oh
mine,
my.
there has been 1 second.
Let me yeah.
Okay, I'm still here.
This
I'm
Labras
still
champion kind of broken. In the right hands,
Lost
I
my
agree.
friend.
Like, I think any character, not Akihiko, any character in the right hands can be scary. All right, Akihiko can be scary. I'll give it up. I think he does everything in his ability to make himself not scary, but he can be scary if you give him to Dr. Phasor. Why am I blanking? Captain AV. Yeah. Top one Akihiko. Akihiko top one. Yeah, I think you're thinking of BB Tag. Wrong game.
Is he that good?
I've been told he's good, but you know, it's also
I'm
BB
pretty sure the
Tag
Dodgers
players.
and BB
So.
Tags are like, what is it like? For whatever the one name, whatever the infamous team with the Dachi is, Yumi or something. I don't remember. I can't remember the name. More like a
Uh,
Yumi. Everyone's gonna say Yumi until somebody in chat corrects me.
is
A
M
Dachi.
is M10 still in? Did I do my? Am I not understanding the situation
No, I'm
correctly?
done, boss.
Yeah,
Oh, they might
M10.
be sending him first. They might be sending him first though. Because they decided
Oh,
to restart the team.
oh, okay,
That's
that
why he
makes
might be
sense.
in. Okay.
Okay, all right, my bad. That's on me.
If
Yeah,
they
yeah,
won it, okay, yeah. So that's what's
yeah.
happening.
Okay, okay, okay.
I
And
don't think
then
Jeff Top Guy was one of
is
these
that
in.
the person?
Oh no, that might be DP Neighbor. That might be DP
Is
Neighbor.
that
Never
them?
mind.
Hold on. Let me clarify. Is that the person? The Golden Lions. Is your player currently in the lobby? Yes. Okay. All right. Play.
All right, we're getting ready to go here. So, do you have any expectations for how you think the Aegis Conjure match might go?
I
My
have
predictions is
no
that
idea how this is
the
gonna
neutral is going to
play.
be really. Oh wait. Okay, sorry, it's not the Conjure match. It's the Dachi matchup.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is gonna play out. I don't think, for as probably popular as this matchup is, I don't think I've studied it too much.
Ibis ready for combat.
All right, here we go. I would think Aigis just does her game plan, and then Adachi tries to anti-air her approaches as best as he can. But outside of that, I don't know specifically. Maybe just like a lot of trying to catch and break Adachi's persona.
Yeah, I think that's a very good thing you mentioned here. Adachi is one of the most susceptible characters in the game to getting their persona broken because of actually so weak to it. And we're already seeing one of the reasons is in JC, one of the best air buttons in the game. But both these characters are very good JCs. Okay, getting off a bit of a fake pressure
Sure.
point.
Ooh, OMC having to spin.
No mix there.
If you guys noticed, they got a gold. M10 got a gold burst at the start of the round, but already burnt all that meter just to do that super OMC.
Ooh, that's gonna be a punish.
It's a good combo.
They're gonna have to get out of Borgia here, so the offense post OP shouldn't be that good. Okay, they're gonna go back into it actually. Okay.
We're not. I think we're gonna spend the full Orgia.
I think I would have slight. I think they get the kill.
I think they kill here. No, they didn't have enough.
No, they don't. There's no options there of the Orgia.
No meter, no Orgia, no
However,
extension.
the neutral here is very good, so I would just. It's not really too scary. They have 17 Bolza, which is a little bit scary, but they have Orgia back in full. Yeah, now you just run in. You get to have the most ignorant move in the entire game. Got hit by an overhead. I'm going to assume that DP Neighbor does not know the fuzzy, considering the fact I know very little people who do know the fuzzy timing to block. I guess.
I got hit by that overhead. I'll say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I play, I get hit by the overhead a lot. It's not a rare situation. We all get hit.
All right, corner combo. Good bounce.
Yeah, that's 4K. Gonna be a safe jump. Delayed tech.
And staying in Orgia
out of
mode.
the safe jump though. I mean, yeah, they still have what is it, 7?
Oh, what a burst bait! Still plus on
Gold
block,
burst.
but did get the burst bait. Some DPs are built.
The thing I know about Gold Burst is that it's a very good defensive option on wake up, solely because it's +2 on block, and on hit it gives you full persona cards with full meter. So it's a very risk-free option unless they like hard bait it out. And we're not gonna matter. This should be death. I think this should be.
Yeah. M10 might get their burst back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. DP gonna go through the
Keep
super.
yourself safe. It's a pretty tough comeback to make, but definitely doable. Some of the, if Ivers is definitely a character that can make this comeback.
All right, we got our burst back. That's at least good.
And yeah, just hitting the JC there. Bursts are even. So.
That 2B is very good in this matchup. It looks like it can't really 2D or like any of like the longer Persona moves that Adachi tries to do. It just kind of beats them all. Or like a misspaced JC also. That Igus 2B seems to put in the work, though it does cost a lot of bullets.
I will say Igus 2B is one of their best options in general. It's just a very comes on the screen and on block or on hit. It just immediately goes into PTA, which gives you Orgia. So not hit by another overhead. There we go. We're getting the 50-50 game going. Can you get to cancel out of Orgia here? I don't think you can safely stay in it. Yeah.
Ooh, good IBs from Meter.
Gold burst into the 5G. OMC to keep the pressure going. I think he's going for
oh no!
Right there to punish him back,
that's a lot of damage.
Fatal counter.
Fatal JC is a really good
kill,
start.
Yeah.
Just gonna DP out of the corner.
DP.
Adachi players who say your DP is bad, explain.
There we go. We got the Magatsu window.
I think you're dead.
I want to see that.
Oh. Was that spectator lag? Or was that connection?
I don't know.
I'm
gonna take it M10-1.
Did M10 win that? Okay, it's spectator lag. Or is it? I'm gonna assume so. I'll say alright, M10-1. Okay. M10 did in fact win. So we're going to see an actually even game. Both teams completely even on the score now. This is a 6v6 crew battle now.
Yeah, this is completely even, aside from the fact that if they win, they'll have a lead, but if M10 wins, it'll be even. So it's like slightly favored towards the Golden Lions right now, but I wonder if they're going to send in here. I feel like I don't think we're going to see Majestic Liner. I thought I think the Majestic Liner ours is going to be it.
Save Majestic for Sayori. There's no reason not to, right?
I think we might even see him for Ed. He did very good. It wasn't as dominant, but Ed, I would say, is one of the players that if I was on the Golden Lions, I'd be very scared of. So I would be looking to save Majestic Line for Ed, since he did very good there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I would say that I would expect Sayori, while still a strong player, I would say they're significantly less scarier, and I feel like as of the recent kind of maybe year or two, I feel like I've seen Eb in the top level a lot more than I have seen Sayori. So even if Eb has definitely slowed down on how much he plays the game for sure.
Alright, it looks like we're gonna get Alu in to fight against M10. So I don't think this is it's not the best matchup for Shadow Naoto, but I don't think it's the worst either. It might be the worst. I don't know. Like, Shadow Naoto doesn't lose to many. Well, the worst is probably like... Do we think Igus is worse than Yukari for Shadow Naoto?
I honestly do not know enough to say. All I know is that this is a very classic BFC matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I can name countless hero versus Karma sets. It's happened so many times. This is like a certified like PFC monthly classic. We've seen it so many times in PFC monthly top 8s. I wouldn't be shocked this is one of the most played matchups in top 8s in the 2.5 quart of the game.
I would say
especially
probably
from the
like
NA perspective.
I've seen a lot of Shadow Naoto Yukari from Flood, but I would say yeah, this is definitely with like
I would
I've seen
say
this a
I would
lot.
assume that Karma Flood is the single most like player head to head. That's probably happened the most in PFC. There was a time where they would play. It was like every single month. We were like 2 PFC monthlies before they grands back, and then it's like we had the then we had the first TNS, and it was like they played in that too. It's happened so much.
Yeah.
That's not the matchup at hand right now. It's time to focus on this one. No initial hit. The bolts on cooldown.
So both characters have to be kind of scary because one hit from Shadow Naoto and your fate's gone for Igus. Like so. But you can't really just do whatever the heck you want as Naruto either, because Aegis has really good screen control as well, and very good mix as well to make you really feel like you can't do anything at a disadvantage.
I will say that this isn't going to be death either. Yeah.
That might be it. No.
This will be. No, this drops. Okay.
Unfortunately, it was an
I wonder,
aerial
they
hit.
have such a big life lead. I wonder if they might hold off on using Fate here. They have a relatively. Guess with Awakening,
I would still use Fate right now.
Effectively.
Oh, trying to call up the
Going
hover
to
dash.
be-
That's smart. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, not going to work. How much damage? Oh, no, we're facing the wrong way. So, this is a very scary scenario where both characters are one hit away from dying, probably. And, well, M10 still has
we'll
burst.
see.
That
I
might,
would assume what M10 is going to do is he's just going to start with bullets. Okay, that's very good for Alu. Even if they don't win this round, they have burst advantage winning the second round.
I will say, a Lu wasting meter there, I don't entirely agree with, because I think you need that meter there for the IK at that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be risking it, but I mean, they're up in terms of Shadow Frenzy.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Keep craft. It's kind of where you start to see Shadow Naruto's like just zoning in neutral game. It's very potent. I think obviously the character's known for a lot of things that isn't her neutral game, but it's still very respectable.
Good corner combo. What's the Oki? Probably just gonna be grenades. No, we're going for full super. Wasting all that meter.
Ooh, good GP bait. It's not going to be around.
Yeah, you had to burst there.
Okay, just barely got the burst there. That was like the tip of the burst.
But the problem is now,
I will say, this is a one-hit game. This is just one hit.
your frenzy list is the problem.
Getting up the... Ooh. Okay. So I think what happened there is Alu wanted to go for an Oki with the super.
Yes.
And M10 wasn't checking. I don't know if he predicted the super. I want to give him better because I would say he predicted that was the option and just tried to delay tech.
Yeah, because
you have to let them out of the combo once they hit zero fate for the insta kill to kick in.
yeah, you can't die to the insta kill if it's in the same combo as you hit zero fate. It needs to be two separate combos, and by delay teching and not actually teching, that's a yellow beat combo that is actually part of the same combo, and unfortunately that is going to cost Alu the game.
Yeah. So I will say this is now an even crew battle, and that was both M10 and Alu's last life in the crew battle. We will not be seeing them come back. It is a 5v5 now. We're just going to see who they send in on both sides. I feel like if I had to guess who they're going to send in, I feel like we're probably going to see Siberia next. Siberia or Sayori? Maybe Koma. I think we're definitely saving Eb and Dead Dog now.
Yeah.
You spent the M10 early, and I would agree with it. You know, you sent him out, and you got your team back to even footing. Very important. You don't want to be a player behind an event like this, especially when they're down to one last life, because this is about where it starts to get pretty close.
I would say
This is effectively a first to 5 in terms of games now.
Alice is still a big problem though, because you spent your M10. Who's going to deal with Alice now?
Yeah, I think Alice is my big worry. Again, this might just be the Ken player, like, bias. I always look at them as a player. I would probably trust an Eb there. That would be my prediction. But I don't know. That could be very well me being absurdly biased.
All right, so it does look like, I'm not going to say it actually yet, just in case Hotspot Warriors have not picked there. But we do have the Golden Lions sent in, but Hotspot Warriors still have to pick who they're going to send in to replace M10. Looking at the board, though, it's an interesting because you still have two Shadow Yukaris you have to deal with. You got to deal with an Adachi, and then you have just a Kanji that's just an absolute beast, and a Stabris, I guess. I don't know. We'll see who Alice decides to go. So it's not an easy choice.
If I'm Hotspot Warriors, I'm saving people, and I'm saving who they feel their best players are for Lion and Owls. I do not want to let those two have, like, free reign and the only players be left be the players that I would perceive as the weaker
Mhm.
players if I'm on the team.
But at the same time, you need to save people like Siberia for like the Yukikos.
Yeah, I think again, if I were to be, if I were in their mind, I would be projecting that Lion and Owls would be last. So I would probably send in Siberia, since if you think about it, there's a about a 66% chance, not really, but just there's a 2 out of 3 players of Shadow Yukiko. Yosuke does pretty well. Siberia won his Yukiko match earlier. I would send him in, and then just bet on that.
All right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And then that opens up a thing where the Golden Lions, they might predict that, but and send in DP Neighbor as the option instead.
Looks like they are taking their time that, or we're having like another like 20-minute Persona boot up time, which honestly at this rate, either could be a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, we still got time. Only
Yeah.
like a little bit over an hour, so I mean, certainly, like, it's not been the longest stream, so I don't think we're too bothered. I think they can take the true time here. I definitely like the idea of taking your time, getting your composure. You know, it's not gonna be No. Yeah, okay. M10's not up, so you don't really care about like keeping the hotness going. So the player's gonna be cold. It's been a little bit, so it's not like that really matters. I don't think that's really a factor. It's not like they're gonna be hunting on another player either. So I think they're just taking their time in the beginning, their composure, making sure they make the right option in terms of players.
Sure.
And we say Sayori.
All right. Looks like we're gonna have Sayori versus Diego's as our next match. Go ahead and swap. Oops.
So I gotta imagine Margaret is better on paper.
Are we going Marg?
But
Is that the question? Are we sticking Stab or Marg?
yeah, again, the rules didn't specify that they have to stay the same character between lives. So,
We are gonna go Marg. Okay.
I shall show
and they're swapping. Okay. So I can say I know that Labras is the character Sarah is more known for. However, I think they picked up Marg up a little bit over a year ago at this point. So they still are gonna have the experience with Marg. Might not have quite the same amount of experience as their Labras, but I know that Marg was going to put time into because they started to kind of think that Labras was maybe not necessarily worth the effort put in results wise. So they swapped to Margaret, obviously very good character.
You know, I'll say it. I'm not scared of it. Margaret's broken. Like, holy crap, that character, just so much damage, so much range, so much like, I do any hit and like the whole screen's a hitbox. Like, what the heck?
I think the big thing is that I don't, and the nice thing is like I don't feel like the bad DP overly matters in Magic because I think DP is a character that doesn't care about a lot of DP. I think she's very good at playing around them regardless. But imagine the weakness of like a bad DP, not gonna kick in as much to people.
For how much people say it's a bad DP, I see people be getting hit by it. Like, holy crap.
I won't lie, I do get hit by one. When I used to play Lucas and stuff, very good Mark player, like I would get hit by it, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a bad
Hey,
DP
this
quotation
is gonna be a
marks.
big hit, no check.
Oh.
It's certainly a bad DP, but it can definitely get people off. Is this kill?
Yeah, I mean, please tech, but like besides
4.8K.
that,
Yeah, two moments where they could have tech though. I think I will say the second hit that makes sense. It's pretty common to see people not tech at a second hit just because of the fact that like
yeah, you're pressing
it's pretty
buttons.
quick. Yeah, maybe it just takes you out of reaction after you got hit. It's whatever. Ooh, dot too hard for that second hit of I believe that's 240. I might be wrong. But yeah. 5-8 to break the persona. Very good call there.
Oh my gosh, I
And
hate
this is
like.
just the Marg round.
Why can Marg do this? Why is Marg?
I know Marg's bad matters, and I know for a fact Shadow Yukiko is not one of them.
It's just like that's such good. The
Yeah, this
sweep
looks
being
like
like a
a
full
good
screen
idea.
low is like ridiculous.
Yeah, this character is very good. I think the only reason why she's not top tier is because there's just not much more crazy characters in this game. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Do not send in your Shadow Yukiko. That's not the play. I think right now,
Holy
if you're
crap.
them, Do they only have Shadow Yu-Gi-Ohs left?
No,
they have DP
no,
left,
yeah.
right?
They-
I think you said
they have full
DP.
roster.
That's my prediction right now. I think they have a sending DP. I do not send in another Shadow Yu-Gi-Oh! I would not dare.
Another strategy would be like, okay, wipe the Margaret off the board. Like, save, yeah, by sending in, like, just
I could
a
see it.
player.
Personally, I feel like I would want the stronger players for the last two, but so they have less work on their hands. But you know, maybe you do just say, you know, I'm going to send in the players who were playing really well earlier, which going to get a nice advantage with Dawn. There's definitely a place where that could be the mindset.
I don't know,
Mark
like,
Champion is indeed kind of broken, chat.
dude, Margaret down players, like, where do you stand? Like, how do you think this character's not good?
We have Yoshi right here for me. Infamously known partly for his joking downplay of the game. Partly. Not all of it.
Oh my gosh.
Very good character. I will say, I don't think she's absurdly broken. I think she's probably
Nah, Mark's damage is really bad, and so is her 2B. You think her 2B's bad?
Okay, her damage being bad is some crazy takes.
Alright, we are going to see Alice come in, and I'm sorry that you have to see this tag again, but
Okay, so seeing Alice, I didn't expect this. I thought Alice was going to be the anchor. That's my
I
prediction.
don't think it's a
So,
bad thing, because, like, okay, let's say Sayori's like a
mine's
big threat
secure.
right now. What do? Send in your threat. Take them out, clear it, and then Alice probably clears another match while they're at it. And then now you're making your
I
opponent
do think
waste a
Alice probably
character.
clears another match. I think the question is, though, do they decide to just send in one of their perceived weaker players and they kind of just they quote waste Owls, if that makes sense. That could be a mindset that they could have in the future. I've seen it happen in group battles I've played in. It's been a strategy that I've used. Getting a color change.
Now, what character do we see Alice play is a question also.
I don't think they're going to push on Labrys. I think they, as far as I know, they only play Labrys. Oh, I could be wrong. Okay. I think I was
Alright, they're going to stick
Nope.
Labrys.
Okay.
They do play Rise,
Okay.
but I don't recommend going...
I talked to Rise players about it. I had a friend who was a Rise player.
You don't
She
want to
hasn't played the game in years,
this.
but she would not stop talking about it. She talked about the game. Every time she talked about the Rise Orange match, it was just pure, this match was ass.
It's ass. It's ass. I don't know what Lord Knight's on. It's not a good matchup.
Actually, the match was probably even worse than 1.1. Well, no, maybe not, because Rise did get hit pretty hard in this version too.
As a Rise player, this is not it. I'll just say it.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm not
but
good at the match.
anyways-
Yep.
I will say, Sayori's playing very well in that last game. I think their Marg is seemingly a lot more recently practiced than their Lapras,
Mhm.
as we expected, so... And I mean, I gotta imagine this is a good matchup for Marg. I'd imagine it's a good one.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, just playing it slow, keeping that slow neutral game. From the slowest Persona neutral I've seen in a while. Those are the crew battles been very scrappy up until now.
Oh, that giant
the
JB putting in
cross-up.
work.
They got the jump to just get out, which is very, very nice. Bursting early. I can see the burst. I see why.
Pick up.
I wouldn't question Sayori's burst against her own character, to be fair. I just get burst against Labrys more than I would my own.
Oh my gosh! Why'd that reach?
There we go. Add DP. Add it again.
Are you dead? No. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Good job. Yes, absolutely. They have Hasu
You're dead
Toby.
off this.
Oh, I just have to Toby. Ooh, I think I just have to Toby there. Reversible. Whatever. Doesn't matter. They honestly, they probably just don't want to think about the A multipliers. That's one of the things about Margaret that's really hard is like comboing into A when they actually like have to keep in mind if you go for Hasu Toby routing.
They might also trying to make the combo longer in order to bring down the axe level for the next round.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility.
Oh, not gonna pick up off the fatal, but that is a big hit. You gotta be careful of those.
Good reversal.
Just gonna power
That
slash.
wake up super is a very good wake up super. Her DP is very bad, but that's a good wake up super right there. That's a fine reverse.
And you can cancel it into Hasatobi.
Hey, that's
You?
good.
No way,
That is
right?
good. That is good. No, barely dropping it.
I think they tried to OMC
Doesn't
there,
matter.
but yeah, it went into neutral, so it turned into a gold burst. But it doesn't matter. We're gonna pick it up, and that's gonna be Sayori taking out Alice from team the Golden Lions. That's huge. And I think that's also, yeah, that's going to put the Hotspot Warriors and kind of solidify a pretty big lead. I mean,
Yeah, what's the score right now? Is it?
it's 4-3. Yeah, it's
yeah.
but Majestic
That'd be
Lion is
like-
still in play.
Yeah.
So it is a double blind draw again now.
I feel like.
But I feel like you need to.
Warriors, you're up.
You need
I
like
would send in. I think I send in Siberia here. I like Siberia.
you send in. I'm saying for the Golden Lions though, because like okay, you're probably gonna have Majestic Lion anchor at this point. So that means either DP
I
Neighbor
think
or
I send
Yuki
in
Cat needs to
DP
take two.
Neighbor. I think I probably go. I think I'll probably go DP Neighbor first. That's my prediction because didn't Como also beat a Shadow Yuki earlier, or am I wrong?
Yeah, Siberia did beat Diego's start, but it looks like we're gonna have DP Neighbor versus Como, which is really interesting because I believe both of them do play Adachi, but we saw Como go the Shadow Narukami earlier.
Yeah. Okay. We could see an Adachi me here. That could
Pain
happen.
in the ass. Lend me your strength.
No, we're going normal Narukami now.
Okay. Numero Akami is a little bit better. I'll give it that. He is definitely a better character. It's not by too much. I think it's not by as much as most people think, but it's. In fact, I've heard Akami say that I think the versions are equally as good as each other, but I'd say Akami is a little bit better.
I'd say normal Narukami has more robbery potential, but if you are trying to manage your meter more, then you should go Shadow. But I've seen enough offline tournaments to know that Narukami versus Adachi, not bad at all, especially if you know Adachi, as Como obviously knows Adachi counterplay since he plays the character.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was a matchup that you see fairly consistently in offline major top 8 stages. You have like Grover consistently in top 8, you have Nikoze when he comes over to the States, you have Jordan back when he attended offline majors.
Oh no, is that another reset? No, it just popped up for a bit. You're dead.
Yeah,
You're dead. Self-awakening too,
And
so
now
you
we
had
see,
50
like-
more meter to go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
But didn't even need it. Just. And if Como wins this is a huge lead.
Yeah. You're
You're
gonna need like, you're gonna have to anchor Majestic just so you can try and like take out as many people as you can in a row at that point. Oh my gosh, Narukami DP is broken.
Yeah, the DP privilege. Yeah, such a good DP. It also gives a knockdown on counter hit. I don't know if it gives a safe jump. It probably does. We talked about Narukami.
Alright, just gonna gold burst. That's a lot of meter, but he can't. Now he's in robbery, but at the same time, you're in the corner against Narukami with 100 meter. Are you gonna live?
This is game. Oh, I dropped. But it was game. I can tell you that for sure.
He held beeline a little too long, got the B feint, and now he has to rework. Uh-oh. This is what Adachi does. Next hit for Adachi, it could be it.
No. It maybe I do get that burst. I think the burst there is probably just not get my Adachi down the road.
We're fishing. Uh-oh.
Okay, this is where Adachi shines. Adachi is probably known
There it
as the most
is.
well-known character for his robbery. And here it is, here's the Adachi down the road.
And we're just gonna DP out of it. The Narukami players have one thing in their head and disadvantage, and it's how
Okay.
fast can they press a 2 button.
So we have 2 players left.
Yes, we do. And if I am playing as the Golden Lions right now, I think I have to send in Yuki Cat, right?
I think Majestic Lion, when we saw him earlier, was playing incredible.
You have to save him for last so he can like take as many people down as possible. So if you send him now, he gets max 2 games. But if you anchor with him, he has the chance to take out everybody.
Oh, okay. Update. Como doesn't play Dachi anymore. We were wrong on that. He used to play Dachi. He has dropped him for Shadow Narukami according to Pan.
Completely?
What I will say is
Wow.
that we did when we got our character chart, or at least when I asked for my character chart, I got a Dachi. So that's
Yeah.
partly on me. So that's why, because when they put it, so I asked for like the player names when I was, then I called like a few weeks ago, got the player names, I got the character list, and the only character noted down for Como was Dachi.
Yeah.
So I think that was just a miscommunication, and I haven't seen Como like actually play in a serious setting in a while, if I'm being honest, but
I thought he retired.
I knew that he still played because I've seen him, but I didn't actually like see him play. Like I've seen him around PFC and stuff. Not that that actually means much, considering I don't have PFC doesn't play this game.
That's fair.
So maybe it's taking a while. Maybe they're considering sending in Majestic Lion for the momentum swap. I don't know if I would do it personally, but I am gonna respect the team's decisions here. Maybe Yuki Cat was just feeling a little nervous. I've never watched him play, so he's doing a lot better than what we saw earlier.
I think at this rate you have to have a talk with Yuki Cat and Majestic Lion and say, hey, which one of you feel better anchoring? If the other one fails, which one of you thinks you can take out 3 people?
And that's another very good thing they're bringing up. It's not only the players when it comes to anchoring, it's the pressure. When you're the anchor, all the pressure in the moment's put onto you. Even if it's not really your fault if you lose, if you're the anchor, you're probably gonna feel like a little bit that it was your fault because you were kind of like the last hope to win, last chance. And that's a lot of pressure because it's all on you, especially winning 3 in a row. Not only that, you're playing 3 very different matchups. Like Yosuke, Chie, and Ken or Ken. That's 3 very different matchups.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, whoever doesn't anchor can help relieve the pressure. They can get a maximum. They can take out Como. They can take out maybe another person. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have to win 2 in a row no matter what if you're anchoring.
I think it was Como and Yuki Cat who played earlier. And from what I remember, Como won.
Yes.
It was relatively convincing.
But Como is, I believe, locked in on the normal Narukami now. I don't know if that matters.
Yes, it's slightly different. I don't remember seeing a Frenzy, though. We did see a Frenzy, but
yeah, he
mistake.
kind of won with the Frenzy. He dropped the combo, but he did use that Frenzy to win. But we are going to see, I believe, I did not see that. Was that Yuki Cat? Yeah, it was Yuki Cat. Okay.
Yeah, it was Yuki Cat. Okay. So yeah, this is a rematch from like, what was it, the third match of the crew.
Slightly different. It's a normal Narukami now, but it's the same matchup in most aspects. You're just going to see less meter usage from Narukami, and he's going to be saving it for some robbery instead.
Yeah.
Or as I call it, you got bonched.
That is true. Different bunching is more like never being able to open up someone. To me, that's the problem.
I know Bonch for his 150 plus burst combos that just like, wow, your HP just disappeared.
I remember back when I played a lot more, I could never open up one. Bonch was the one player who always demanded me be at my absolute best. But, time to get back to the topic on hand. Catching out the roll there.
This is a very good Yukiko. Just like, ha, you can't touch me. You have to deal with my fans. You have to deal with my persona. And you get hit once. Have fun in the corner. And maybe you're dead.
The unblockable? Okay, no unblockable setup. But
Oh, baited the DP, but did not hold block long enough.
I wonder, I don't know if that was a drop or if someone was trying to go for a cheeky reset there. I'm not sure. So since I do know
Negative penalty.
Oh, negative. That's bad. That's bad. That could be the round. That could be the round. That could be
You're
the
dead.
round. Oh,
You're dead.
I don't know if it's dead. I don't know if it's dead. I don't know if it's-
Oh, no, you didn't have the meter.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have enough meter. Ooh, bursting.
Yeah, you had to spend your... That's
Ooh,
so
this is a bad
sad.
situation for Yuki Cat.
I think
I
that...
don't know if I like that burst. I feel like it's too risky.
I think that hurts too because I think Yuki Cat could have had the round if they spent Frenzy, but they decided not to spend Frenzy there in order to try and save it for next round. But now they're down a round.
Yeah. This is where I start to kind of have issues with people who save it for us. But yeah, that's a bad dude because it's hard to hate. It is looking bad. If you're Yuki Cat, I feel like what you need to do is you need to find a way to reset back.
And I think that's it. There you go.
So, at this point, it doesn't matter who you send in. You have Majestic Lion versus Ebb, Dead Dog, and Siberia.
It is
Personally,
going to be
I feel like I send in
a
Siberia
1v3,
first.
yeah.
I think I send Siberia in first. I see if I'm Dead Dog or maybe you send in Ebb again and you try to see if Ebb can do any better. I feel like whoever you send in first, if you're the other two, you're looking for the habits that you can get off of Majestic Lion. Because he was looking, I would say, I feel like he was playing the best out of anybody in this group battle round one. Sure, in the first half. Besides, like,
For
maybe
sure.
ours.
I mean,
feel like he was playing some of the best.
the other thing though is last time he did go up against a Labrys, which is one of Kanji's best matchups for him. But
then
he
went
doesn't
into
have
Shadow
that
Ken.
anymore.
Not Shadow Ken, but he went into normal Ken, and it was still very
Yeah, but you have to know that it's only going to be hard matchups from here on out. We are going to start out with Upstorm wanting his run back.
I respect it. So, I think one thing I remember seeing is I noticed a fair bit of reversals. So if that's one habit they can catch on to. And I think another habit that I really don't want to see again from, I noticed it from Ebb, and I think a lot of people, I think if they catch on to it, he was very good at catching on to the rules after getting a shot. Ebb did them a fair bit, and if it wasn't covered by a dog, I think it got C countered every time, and that's such a big punish.
Mm-hmm. I'd say another thing is just like, I feel like he got a little too close to Kanji. Like, he did get RPS'd a lot, but you were getting a little too close, and you made your pressure, you put that little gap in where his DP could hit you. And wow, it's like really hard to avoid Kanji DP. You have a dog to do that for you. You don't have to interact with it all the time.
I think the rules on that and how it works is this: if you use specials, I'm pretty sure it auto baits up the DP. But I'm pretty sure 5C and 2C you can still get a slap trade. I think that's how it works.
I think it's like if the player character hits him at any point with like a move that isn't a projectile, it'll always shock. But if it's like something that isn't them, if they're far enough away, it'll work.
The rule on that is his main character, yes. Persona get away, but Koromaru is not a persona. So it doesn't, if it's the dog that gets hit and you as the camp player gets hit, it still doesn't go through because it's on Persona 1. I will say, the other thing I remember seeing a lot of is D-Grab. D-Grab is very easy to handle, since it's usually not a true hit. Usually.
The problem
So
is he
Ed
was
keeps
like,
an eye out on that.
yeah,
He'll
he used it a lot to get like a wake up D grab, which is basically a pseudo kanji DP that isn't as risky.
It is a pseudo kanji DP. I will say.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I don't like this at all. Okay, we're going to Shadow Cat. I don't like the
Shadow. I don't think it matters as much in this matchup because while it's just like, yes, you need that for your kill factor, it's also kanji. You don't have to rob kanji to win.
Personally, I feel like Shadow Ken. I feel like it's the difference between like 3-tapping, and he's not 3-tapping. This is maybe.
Holy crap. Holy damage.
No, this is optimal.
Are
This
you
is
dead?
optimal. Yes, this is dead.
Okay.
No, too much scaling was the issue. Ooh, that's rough.
He might have just mistimed it. That might have actually just been a thing.
Maybe I will say the.
I don't agree with that burst. I don't agree with that burst. Ooh, you should have saved that.
Burst, this is a big advantage for Ed. This could be the end of the career battle right here. And I wonder if that's changing Majestic Lion's playing at all. When he played earlier, he was under no pressure. But now he's under a lot more. Ooh, good roll to punish it. Yeah, okay. Hello.
Another thing to note, even without Frenzy, Shadow Ken now always has access to that Awakening Super, which is where his main damage is coming from.
I will say, you're not going to see it outside of killing or the situation or the reversal. It's not very good because you should only go for OP if it's in a combo, but this isn't death, but next it is. This, if I can get...
You're dead.
This is death. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're dead.
I think he might be too tanky is my thing. It's 10.5k HP.
You're dead. Oh my gosh, you lived? That's absurd.
I think, I will say, okay, that's the end of the battle. Eb wins. I will say, I think that was because he did I think, here's the deal. During the routing with Shadow Ken, into that routing, if I'm not mistaken, you can get about like 600 more damage from that CD super. It's absurd. The damage variance on it is pretty crazy. However, it's pretty hard to actually get the amount of hits consistently. But good stuff to Hotspot Warriors for winning. They really did turn it up in that second half. I could tell that they played significantly better in the back.
For sure. Not just that, they got a lot better matchups because they started picking better, I would say, because they had a lot of losing matchups going in, but after that, it seemed to only winning matchups from here on out. So yeah.
So we'll say we are doing post-player interviews, I believe. I think it'll take a second. I think we're interviewing both teams. That's what I was told. I was told we're doing both teams.
Maybe.
I don't know what team we're doing first. I don't know if we're doing them together. We're gonna just have to wait and see. So if people want to stick around for that, stay in the stream. I know it's not gonna be every player on both teams because I know at least Diego said like he had to go and stuff, and I'm probably gonna assume that Sayori's team has people had to go.
I think it's
So
one player
not everybody
per
can just stay around.
team.
One, okay. I think it might just be Sayori versus an Alu then, maybe. I'm not too sure.
We'll see.
We'll let him in. We'll let him filter in and see what happens. He had 2 to spare. That was a really good showing that back up. I was really
No, yeah, it was unfortunate that the final match went that quickly, but I would say it was really well played for the most part.
I was kind of dooming for Hotspot Warriors after the first half. It looked pretty convincing on the Golden Lions end.
As soon as M10 came back in that second time, everything just seemed to turn around, and then taking out Alice super early was huge. I disagree heavily with sending Alice in against Sayori's Marg. You needed that a lot later. Or at least to anchor with. Because, like, look at it a different way. Like, because M10 was already out at that point. Sayori was now on their second life. Let's say you sacrifice someone. If you have Alice anchor, even if everyone else lost immediately, do you think they could sweep the rest of the team?
I think they could, yeah. I think my big thing is I think it's a bit of a momentum shift thing where in a crew battle, I think team morale is very important, and I don't think you want to just have somebody, you don't want to give them like 3 games in a row or something. You know, you really don't want to give them too much games in a row. So I would suspect that we're ready for interviews at any time, Alu. I would suspect that they just tried to do it for a momentum switch, and it just didn't end up working out, unfortunately. I think it's reasonable play. I can see both things. I will say, I thought at first, when I saw the opponents, I expected the skill gap to be a lot bigger. From the first half, the player gaps seemed a lot bigger, but the player gaps were a lot smaller in the second half.
No, for sure, yeah. I'd say there's like maybe 2 like players that are like a lot better than the others on each team, but you know, each of them have them, and you can play around them. You can swap people in, and even then, the rest of the players probably around the same skill level. It's just who has more player experience
Yeah, like I
against each
will say
other.
for Eben Majestic Lion, that really did just feel like 2 different games that went 2 different ways. Because in one game, Majestic Lion got his offense going, the other game, Eben got it going. That just happens in this game very, very often. It's very consistent. This game is very momentum heavy. I would say more so than most games. Every character has robbery potential and snowball potential to just win.
All right. Looks like we're getting Como for an interview. If he finds the right channel.
Yeah. So Como might. We might even be joining the other VC. I'm not too sure. Okay, we're interviewing Como. We're right about that. And they're part of Hotspot Warriors, so. If chat has any questions and they want to ask, I would personally at least be open to asking Como as well.
Yo, what's up? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty great, you know. Had to throw for content the first half, you know, keep it interesting.
I have to first apologize for you. Sorry, you don't play Adachi anymore. Is this true?
Nah, it's been like over like a year and a half, like 2 maybe at this point. I get that a lot though. Gonna have to shout out the team MVP, you know, Lubris, for buying Epstorm a new cable mid set before that to get to his house.
That's amazing.
Is that a real thing that happened?
Yeah, he's lucky to go for that.
Wait, so you're saying he didn't play on hotspot?
No, there's actually no hotspot. There was severe net play issues though, but you have to get the wire off his little cousin or something. Some crazy shit was going on.
All right.
Gonna have to thank M10 for the crazy morale that he was giving by flaming all of us.
So I gotta ask. All right, is Shadow Narukami that different versus Narukami in the Yukiko matchup?
I don't really think so, but like that card is 50 times harder than normal, I think. So I just swapped to normal.
That makes sense.
Because I was on holiday recently, so out of practice I swapped off.
All right. After that, how did you feel about it? Because like obviously the first time you barely won, dropped your Shadow Frenzy, barely was able to pick it up and squeeze it out. But that second time, it seemed pretty decisive on like everything. How are you feeling after that?
The first game was quite stressful, but after I won the first game, I was really confident. I was streaming my game, and I think they could listen to the music I was listening to, see my mouse moving. So I think they knew it was in the bag.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The morale in the second half was way better in the team.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what do you think changed in the second half? It feels like in the first half, you guys were kind of losing. It felt not convincing, but it was pretty clear that the Golden Lions were playing better. And it seemed like in the second half, there was a complete swap. What do you think happened there?
Epstorm's not dooming. That's some real shit.
Do you think M10's win, you mentioned that M10 was very good for like the morale and stuff. Do you think M10 did a good job with his wins? Because that's where I felt like it changed, when M10 did really well and he won.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
M10 won 2-0, then Noel went on, Lupus went on to 2-0 as well, and then, you know, I had to follow it up. So
Yeah,
I think after those 2 matches, those 2 sets, it was pretty, team morale was definitely at a high, and I think we just all knew we could win at that point.
All right. Last question for me, at least. How did you feel having to, or I guess you didn't, but how did your team feel having to go up against Majestic Lion for the second time after that? Swift, like, he definitely put you guys away the first time, or at least how was Ebstorm feeling when he wanted his run back?
Oh, after Ebstorm lost the first time, he was pissed. He was writing to us about the wire. So that's when the wire had to get delivered. He gets back and it's like, boom, please install for 30 minutes some mystical way and figure out a way. So he set him in last. You had to send him in against the Majestic Lion, the N2 for the story mainly.
All right,
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense. All right. Anything else you want to
Well,
say, or you got more
Uh,
questions?
I think I have one more question.
Alright.
What was there any matchups that your team was specifically looking for in the prep that happened inside of the crew battle? Like, were there any
M10.
matchups that you guys specifically planned for to happen?
M10 really. We wanted M10 against Adachi. We wanted M10 to dodge every Yukiko. We wanted. We were. Epstorm was kind of like the wild card. We could send him against everybody really. Siberia was also okay with facing the Yukikos. I think me and Siberia were definitely like the picks to just kind of like throw if like we didn't know who we were facing off against. Like we were pretty easy to just throw at them. So because you know how Lupus plays two different characters, so we kind of wanted to throw them in against someone that one of their two characters could do better against. And M10 nearly went Minazuki the first time, but we told him not to. So that was pretty much most of the team planning, I want to say.
I see. Thank you. I think that's
Yeah.
all the questions that I have.
I mean, if you
It
want to say
doesn't look
anything
like
else,
Chad has any
yeah.
questions, so I think we're good. Unless you want to say
Alright.
anything else.
Yeah, on a final note, I think this solidifies that Alubris is the better Aller. That'll be all. See ya.
Crazy. It's not true.
I had one request that you don't show up. Why are you here?
I'm here. Because Majestic Lion's tired.
All right. Well, how are you feeling after losing to Margaret?
I feel betrayed. I have no motivations. I feel like I was just stabbed in the chest by my friend. I was betrayed. I was stabbed in the back, man.
Yeah. And you still went. You still went Labrys, even though Sayori didn't.
Yeah. I wanted to go Risei, but I saw Labrys art on my timeline while I was playing, so I didn't want to.
You got a question, Mike?
I was going to, but then I remember that they played Reset. I was asking if they only play Labrys, but I'm not sure they played Reset.
Yeah. No, they only play.
Yeah, but
They only
ask,
play Labrys.
Did you seriously consider running Reset knowing the risk of the Marg matchup? Like, do you think, or do you just think that the matchup's not that bad? Are you confident against Aries Marg with it, or?
I just felt betrayed. I was not wanting to play Labrys because they wouldn't run Labrys mirrors with me. So, but I decided I just want to play Labrys because, you know, I like Labrys. Why not?
Any reason you felt you shouldn't anchor versus?
I wanted to play against Sayori, that's why.
That's it.
That's the only reason, man. That's the only reason. It's not cool.
You go in knowing that the Labrys mirror can't happen though, because they already locked in Marg though.
Ah, man, we could have gentlemaned it, but it's fine. I'll just beat them on net play later, and then it'll all be fine, and I can get more coffee.
All right. Well.
See, I wanted to ask, was there any matchups? I asked him question to Como. Was there any matchups that your team specifically planned for that actually happened, like going into it, that you guys thought, yeah, if we send this in, this should be like a probable win for us?
I think we're just planning to throw our Yukiko players against Epstorm. that was the only plan, but it didn't really play out that way. But that first matchup against Majestic Lion and Epstorm, it was like crazy hype for us, especially that ending where he walks out of the corner to avoid the dog and then air grabs him. That was awesome.
Yeah. So, was there anything that happened in the second half that you guys think happened that changed up? Was there any like team morale things, or do you guys just feel like that it was really just that Hotspot Warriors really wasn't able to turn it up, and you guys just, and obviously couldn't keep up, just you guys just couldn't match that energy in the moment necessarily?
Yeah, morale kind of fell after I lost. You know, I was bummed out going to the match. I wasn't playing very well at all. So after that, it kind of just all collapsed from there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, was there anything that changed for you from the first, second half? So like the first half, I thought that you were playing maybe the best out of anybody in their whole crew battle, and I noticed that it definitely dropped in the second half. Was it a matchup thing, or?
It was a tragedy, man. It was a tragedy. I was just bummed out. I was just bummed. I was so bummed out. It's just it, man. I just couldn't play to the best of my abilities, and that's just how it is. I mean, they can't do anything about that.
All right. Any
Uh,
shout outs or anything you want to say? Because the chat wants you gone.
Chat want to speak on that makes sense. Hey, shout out Orha, shout out my big brother, Cool Nate, and Sayori. Bro, run a first to 10. Run a first to 10. I hate you. I hate you. You betrayed me.
I betrayed you.
Not you, Sayori. Sayori, you betrayed me. I know you laughing right now. I can smell you laughing.
All right. Cut this man's mic. Cut this man's
Don't
mic.
duck. Don't duck me.
All right. Thank you,
That's the end of the
everyone.
post-match interviews.
Thank you, everyone, for
is there
watching.
anything else that you want to say?
No, thank you, everyone, for watching. I've been Nate. You probably either know or don't know me. I'm in PFC. But thanks, everyone, watching and stopping by for this thing that we definitely put together last minute. There's a lot of stuff that went into this, a lot of people getting this together, and of course having a channel to stream this on, having an audience, of course. But you guys always showing support to streams like this is why this game is able to stay alive. So thank you so much, guys. Anything you want to say?
I was just gonna say thank you to Sayori for giving Twitch stream for it. I think they help out a lot with some of the events that happen around PFC. They've always been one of my favorite people in PFC. So I just want to try to shout them out. They're one of the leading factors of this, I thought, and I think I'm glad that they gave up their stream for it. And that's it really for me. I thank everybody for watching and coming in. I think that's it for me though.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed also. And make sure you follow Sayori's channel and join the PFC if you haven't already, where we have matches and we play Persona regularly, though I'm pretty sure most of you guys have. And I guess we'll see you guys
If you give
later.
me a second, I'll put PFC streaming.
All right, yeah.
I'll put the PFC link in there. If I can find the PFC. There we go. Right, people. Alright, it'll be from a using a mic underscore Ackworth. It's there. Then if you join it, that'll be the PFC link. Well, obviously, probably everybody's in there, but just in case you're not, there you go. Everything for YouTube related there is mostly there.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
And I think that's all for me.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.